42 points. That is the number that has been burning in the minds of every single fan since last week's disaster in San Francisco. The playoffs are on the horizon, the stakes are higher than they have been all year, and we are staring down the barrel of a get-right game against a dangerous division rival. If you enjoy staying on top of everything happening with the team, do me a massive favor right now. Hit that like button, share this video with a friend, and make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an update. Let's be real for a second. That performance against the 49ers? It wasn't just a loss, it was a wake-up call. We are talking about a defensive unit that has prided itself on takeaways and toughness, suddenly looking like they were playing in quicksand. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, didn't mince words today. He stood up there and took it on the chin. He said it plain and simple. I don't think I coached well enough, and I don't think we played well enough. And honestly, he is right. When you give up 42 points, there is no place to hide. But here is the thing about the NFL. You don't get time to feel sorry for yourself. You lick your wounds, you make the corrections, and you move on because the Detroit Lions are coming to town. Now I know what you're thinking. Detroit is out of the playoff picture. They're banged up. They're missing their former offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who is obviously running the show here in Chicago now. But do not let that fool you. This Lions team can still hurt you. Jared Goff is quietly putting together a massive statistical year. They still have Jahmyr Gibbs. They still have Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is not a team you can just roll your helmet out there and beat. Allen pointed out something that has me genuinely concerned as we head into this finale. It's the third down defense. Early in the season, this unit was elite at getting off the field. They were bending but not breaking, and they were taking the ball away at an incredible rate. But lately, the dam is starting to crack. In the last 3 big games, twice against Green Bay and then last week in San Francisco, the third down numbers have been brutal. 8 of 12 allowed in the first Packers game. 6 of 12 in the second. 7 of 10 last week against the Niners. Let me ask you this. Can you seriously expect to make a deep playoff run when you are letting offenses convert 60% of their third downs? It is impossible. You just cannot survive that way. It felt like there were 3 or 4 moments last week where it was 3rd and long, 3rd and 6+, and the defense just couldn't seal the deal. The pass rush isn't getting home fast enough, and the back 7 is getting exposed. Allen knows it. He said the linebackers have to play better, and the secondary has to tighten up. We know this defense isn't built to be the 85 Bears, but they have to be opportunistic. If they can get back to creating turnovers and making those timely stops, this team can beat anyone because the offense is good enough to score. But you are not going to win shootouts if you're spotting the other team 40 points. Speaking of the offense, let's pivot to something that has been a massive bright spot. Tight ends coach Declan Doyle spoke to the media and shed some light on the evolution of Caleb Williams. We talk so much about the arm talent, the off-platform throws, and the scrambling ability. But the real growth? It's between the ears. It's the pre-snap operation. Doyle pointed specifically to that touchdown pass to Colston Loveland last week. Did you catch what happened there? That wasn't just a great throw. That was Caleb Williams using his cadence as a weapon. He got the defense to jump, realized he had a free play, and then, boom, delivered a strike to the end zone. That is veteran stuff. That is a quarterback who is in total command of the system. Remember back in training camp? We heard all the reports about pre-snap penalties, the offense looking sloppy, guys not getting lined up right. We were told this was a complex system, and it was going to take time. Well, guess what? Time is up, and Caleb has arrived. He has gone from struggling to get the playoff, to manipulating defenses and creating free yardage. Doyle mentioned that the ability to change plays at the line, to a second play, is operating at a high level right now. And how about Colston Loveland? We need to give this rookie his flowers. Along with Luther Burden III, these young weapons have completely transformed the passing attack. We are seeing a chemistry develop in real time that usually takes years to build. Caleb trusts them. When he needs a big play, he is looking for Loveland or Burden. It's exactly what you hope for when you draft these guys, that by the end of their rookie year, they aren't just contributors, they are focal points. Now I want to pose a question to you guys, and I want you to be honest with me in the comments. This is our question of the day. Considering how the defense has looked over the last month, specifically on third down, what is your confidence level in this unit heading into the playoffs? I want you to give me a number on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 means you think they are locked down and ready for a Super Bowl run. 1 means you are terrified. Personally, I'm sitting at about a 3.5. I know, that sounds harsh. I still think Dennis Allen is a good coordinator, and the takeaways have been great, but I would be lying if I said I felt safe. When you can't get off the field on third down, it puts so much pressure on your offense to be perfect. But let me know your number down below. Let's talk about the X factor for this weekend, the elements. We are back at Soldier Field. It's January in Chicago. Special teams coordinator Richard Hightower talked about this today, and I loved his mindset. He said it's only an advantage if you make it an advantage. The cold, the wind, the potentially wet conditions, that should favor the Bears. We are built for this. Think about it. We have Cairo Santos, who has been automatic. He's made huge kicks in Lambeau, huge kicks at Soldier Field in bad weather. The kicking game has been a rock. Hightower has done a phenomenal job turning the special teams unit around. Remember the first 6 weeks of the season? It felt like every kickoff return was a heart attack waiting to happen. Now, they are locking it down. They aren't giving up explosives. And on the flip side, the return game has popped a little bit recently. And offensively? Caleb Williams has the physical tools to cut through the wind. He has the arm strength to throw a tight spiral even when it's freezing. Plus, we have a run game that travels. If the weather turns nasty, I actually think that helps us. It acts as an equalizer for the defense. If the Lions' high-flying offense has to slow down because of the wind and the cold, and we can rely on our ground game and physical defense, that is a winning formula. Alright, we have to get into the injury news because there are some massive names on this report. The team released the Thursday injury update, and we have some clarity on who might be in and who might be out for the finale. First up, the guys who didn't practice. Linebacker Jerome Baker is still dealing with that foot injury. It's looking very unlikely he plays this week. Defensive end Joe Tryon-Shoyinka is in concussion protocol. He's almost certainly out for Sunday. And then a new addition, Jonah Jackson, popped up with an illness. Since it is Thursday, you'd hope he can rest up, get some fluids, and be ready to roll by Sunday, but it's something to monitor. The good news? There is a lot of optimism regarding Rome Odunze. Head coach Ben Johnson mentioned a couple of weeks ago that they expect Rome to help them in the playoffs. The plan seems to be to rest him this week, let him get fully healthy, and then ramp him up for the wildcard round, whether that is again have rookie tackle Kieran Amagaji dealing with a knee and quad issue. He's been limited for 2 days, so not super concerned there, but worth watching. Nick McLeod is also still working his way back from an illness that kept him out last week. It must have been a nasty bug because he is still not a full participant 5 days later. But here is the best news of the day. Luther Burden III was a full participant in practice. You absolutely love to see that. Coach Johnson said they were hopeful he could play, and going from a walkthrough to a full practice is a great sign. It looks like he is going to suit up on Sunday, which is huge for keeping the offense in rhythm before the postseason. We also saw Olamide Zachoz back to full practice after missing the last game, and Josh Blackwell, the special teams ace, upgraded to full participation with his shoulder issue. So, the team is getting healthier where it counts. Now, looking at the Detroit Lions, they are banged up in the trenches, and this could be the deciding factor in the game. Their superstar tackle Penei Sewell did not practice again with an ankle injury. Dan Campbell has already said they are going to be cautious. If there is any risk, they aren't going to play their cornerstone guys in a meaningless game. I would be shocked if Sewell suits up. They also had backup lineman Tristan Colon and defensive tackle Alam McNeil sitting out. If McNeil and Sewell are both out, that is a massive advantage for Chicago. Those are their best players on the offensive and defensive lines. However, Amon-Ra St. Brown was limited today, and knowing him, he wants to play. Dan Campbell is wired the same way. He wants to compete. So I expect St. Brown to give it a go. Taylor Decker was also limited, so he might play a few series. But on the flip side, They have linebackers Alex Anzalone and defensive back Thomas Harper in concussion protocol. Anzalone was a DNP yesterday, limited today, so maybe he has an outside shot, but it's tough to clear protocol that quickly. So, here is the bottom line. The Bears are playing for momentum. They are playing to wash the taste of that 49ers loss out of their mouths. The Lions are talented but banged up and have nothing to play for. If the Bears can control the trenches, get off the field on third down, and let Caleb Williams continue to operate with this newfound command, they should head into the playoffs on a high note. I want to know your score predictions. Who do you have winning this game, and what is the final score? Drop it in the comments section right now. This is the final tune-up. The real season starts next week. Let's make sure we are ready. Thank you so much for tuning in, and Happy New Year. Let's make 2026 the year of the Bears. Hit that subscribe button on your way out, and I will see you next time.